Super Mario, Super Mario World.
Super Mario World. It's a blast from the past. In Super Mario World, you got to move fast. Mario and Luigi are doing what they can. Yoshi and the princess are giving them a hand.
Super Mario World.
Super Mario World. It's a blast from the past. In Super Mario World, it's a blast.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Pixels in the Animation. I am one of your hosts, Steve J. Mike. Joining me in this epic journey is TV's Mr. Neil.
I am so angry right now after this cartoon.
The cartoon that he is talking about is the new Super Mario World, 13 episodes.
Is it actually called the new Super Mario Brothers? Because I think that's just...
No, it's new Super Mario World.
Yeah, but...
That's how it was advertised when the DVDs came out, but I think it is just...
Yeah.
Let me see here, hold on. It is... Yeah, it is just Super Mario World, but when Shout Factory originally put the DVD set out and then N-Circle put the... the one that I have, which, because I no longer had my Shout set, but the one I have is just the Mario cartoons by themselves, and it does say... Super Mario World, the complete series.
Yeah.
But, I remember when it was originally advertised to come on DVD, it was Captain N and the new Super Mario World.
Yeah, because I think the combined show called it the new Super Mario World because it was the new segment on the show.
Right.
But as a segment by itself, it was just called Super Mario World.
Yeah. And the sad thing is, I don't know if this is true of the Shout DVD. It's been years since I have had that one, but on the N-Circle one, oh my god, it took me forever. I mean, I know I could have just gone onto YouTube and found the damn thing, but it took me forever to record the audio for the theme song because it doesn't, because of how the show was originally aired. For some stupid reason, when I go to click episode by episode, it just shows up with the Super Mario World title card thing and goes right into the episode. No intro, no outro, no nothing.
Wow.
It's like, they really put this 2-disc set out on the cheap. As you said on Facebook,
Quality.
just a bunch of just a couple of coasters.
Yeah, and a fancy package.
Yeah.
You know, when I found out we were only recording one episode tonight, I just stopped because I couldn't take any more. I'm just like, okay, I watched all I needed to watch.
Yeah, and honestly, this one really isn't even... This show isn't even, like, nostalgia for me. It is and it isn't. Like, I didn't go into this, thinking it was going to be good. I knew it was going to be bad in that kind of cheesy 90s way that a lot of cheesy 90s things are bad. I mainly went into this thinking, okay, I'm going to see the game come to life in animation. Hence the name of the damn podcast, Pixels in the Animation.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where certain elements of the game come to life, like when Mario has the cape on and that kind of stuff, and the worlds look amazing. For animation, they do anyway. But it's like they were marketing this cartoon to 2-year-olds, and 2-year-olds are even smarter than this.
2-year-olds deserve better than this. I mean, a week or two ago on Animation Aficionados, we did an episode about the new Sailor Moon Crystal, and we just made fun of it for having so many derp faces throughout the entire show. Mm-hmm. This might actually be worse. There are so many derp faces in this show. It offends me because I'm an illustrator. It's just like, you people, you can't draw faces. I mean, I would rather get out the Transformers and watch Ultra Magnus's Birthday, and Autobot in King Arthur's Court, Power Glide's Girlfriend, Scramble City, Carnage in C minor, and then finish it off with 5 Faces of Darkness. I would rather watch all of that instead of this show.
Wait a second. First of all, it's a Decepticon raider in King Arthur's
Well,
court.
that's how
There
much I
weren't.
care about that episode. I got the fun.
I know, yeah. And I'm sorry, the only one I will never agree with you on is why there's no way in hell this show is worse than The Girl Who Loved Power Glide. That episode is the single worst episode of the original first 2 years of G1.
Oh, I don't know about that.
It is. um, so, as you can tell, folks, we are closing out the Mario era here with Super Mario World.
You know what's funny about this show is that the very last episode of Super Mario 3, Toad was complaining about how he's being left behind, and the end of the show, he's like, I feel loved and valued now. And in this series, he just gets left behind permanently.
Good.
But he gets replaced by two characters who are possibly worse.
Okay, yeah.
Yoshi and Ratgoo.
You mean Uktar?
Yeah,
Okay.
Ratgoo.
Um. Oh, that's so wrong. uh, wow, did they really do that?
They did that.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. While Toad did infuriate me throughout his entire run, he wasn't. He did dumb things, but he wasn't stupid. And it is just one of those things where I don't know if I can say Yoshi is worse than Toad. Because Toad did some pretty moronic, stupid things in his time. I mean, Yoshi, he essentially still acts like a child. I mean, he's not, I'm not giving him a pass for being the way he is in this cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell no. But for me, there's no way in hell he's worse than Toad. So I have our friend pulled up here called the Wiki, and there were a lot of differences between the show and the game. Now, I've told this story on several other of the GCRN podcasts. I think I might have told you this before. There used to be in the Kingston Independence Mall in Kingston, Massachusetts, there used to be, you know how you go to the mall and they have all those little mid-mall kiosks, like, cell phone places and, hats off the rack and that kind of crap? I don't know how long it's been since you've been to a mall, seeing as how you're so old, but... it's one of those things where they have all this crap in the middle of the mall, right?
Yeah.
In 90... When did Mario World come out? 91?
I think it was the tail end of 1990.
Okay.
Maybe 91. I don't know. It was very close to Mario 3 and all that.
Yeah. Let's see. Release date.
I kind of have a theory about this, but I'll let you finish what you're saying.
Well, it doesn't. Let me see. I'm just trying to make sure. Subtitled Super Mario Brothers 4. What?
It kind of was.
It doesn't give an actual date on Wiki, which is stupid. I don't know why it doesn't. But anyway, when this came out, I was anywhere between 10 and a half to 11 and a half, and I remember in 1992 was when I finally was able to get a Super Nintendo, so I was kind of late to the game. But they had this thing called the Nintendo Center at my local mall, and basically what it was a kiosk in the middle of the mall where they had a bunch of systems set up, and you could go up there and play games for free. Think of the PlayStation demo disc, except you actually had to go to the mall and stand there and play the game. Think of the crap that Walmart used to do in the last 5 or 6 years, having demos in the, at the electronics, except this was, full on, not a huge screen, but full on big screen. You could sit there and play 2 or 3 levels at a time, and everybody could kind of trade off and whatever else. So I remember standing there, playing Donut Plains 1 over and over and over and over again because somehow I don't know how that I don't know if Nintendo ever made demo cartridges. I don't think they did, but somehow we were locked in to Yoshi's Island and Donut Plains only. Like we couldn't play past that. I don't know why. But so I remember playing this game hours upon hours upon hours, and the cartoon came out, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool. I love seeing this because I love seeing the game come to life through animation. Um, and with the changes that are in the game to the series here, obviously, the show takes place in Dinosaur World, where Yoshi lives with a pre-adolescent caveman named Uktar. And you're right. Oh my god, looking at it now. Wish you hadn't pointed that out to me. Wow, whoever did that, you know. Instead of Yoshi's Island being populated with Yoshis, it's populated with cave people. Several names were changed from the game as well. Forest of Illusion is called the Enchanted Forest. Vanilla Dome was referred to as the Lava Pits. Enemies featured in the game were rarely called by their in-game names on the show. Obviously, Bowser was called King Koopa. His castle in the show actually says Koopa instead of Bowser.
Yeah, that's a throwback to the Japanese version of the game. In the Japanese version, it does say Koopa.
That's because the show producers probably were going more so on the Japanese release.
Yeah, they didn't have the Americanized.
They didn't have the American release because I don't think it had come out yet.
Yeah, and I don't think Nintendo cared enough by this point.
No.
That's kind of my theory, is that I think what happened was 1988 when they got this deal with Beak. Super Mario 2 had just come out in America. Super Mario 3 was also finished, and they were just starting on Super Mario World. And I think Beak got a deal to do cartoons for all three games. And Nintendo was really involved with the Super Show, was kind of involved with Super Mario 3, and by this point they just didn't care. They kind of left Deke to their own devices to come up with the Super Mario World cartoon. Yeah. Because it sure seems like Nintendo had nothing to do with this.
Yeah. The other thing was the production, because another noticeable difference is that this series was animated by a different animation studio. It was done by Pacific Rim Productions Incorporated. Showing the difference in character designs, not only for Princess Toadstool, the most obvious, but also for Mario and Luigi. An intro animated by a Japanese animation studio named Canvas Inc. was also conceived for the series due to the better resources and production values. It was better than the show's actual Western animation.
Oh, yes, it was much better.
Yeah. Obviously, like the third season of Captain and the Game Master, which aired the same year, the animation and writing quality suffered, perhaps due to a smaller budget. The theme song for this show was written by Mark Mothersbaugh, who also wrote the music for Rugrats, which coincidentally premiered the same month and year. So Rugrats killed the Mario cartoons. No, I know. So, this show, this is it, folks. This is our swan song for the first year and a half of this podcast. We are done with Mario after these next few episodes. Episodes 42 to 45 will be our Mario episodes, and then that's it. Mario's done. The rest of the podcast will be Mega Man, Sonic, and other stuff that we've already talked about. So, what did you notice most, outside of what I already pointed out? What did you notice most about between the game choice and the cartoon? Different.
Well, you named a lot of them. I think the biggest difference is just the whole caveman thing. I think they were going for like a Flintstones type theme.
Oh yeah.
but it's so, when you introduce that element, it's so divorced from the game at that point because there's nothing. Okay, there's a dinosaur island, but after you leave Yoshi's Island, there's few and far between like actual dinosaur enemies. It's like I think they pop up later in the Vanilla Dome and places like that, but like it turns into like just a regular Mario game at one point. Like there's that old bridge section, the butter bridge in the cheese bridge, which is there's no. I don't think there are any dinosaur enemies there.
No.
The Donut Plain has more ghost houses than anything. It when you get to the Chocolate Island, then the dinosaurs come back a bit, but I think they just saw the first couple stages. They're like, well, this is a dinosaur game, so they're like, well, we're gonna take this Yoshi character, we're gonna turn him into Dino. Only Dino, I like Dino, but I don't like Yoshi in this cartoon at all. And it seems, I think Bob Mackey might be right in that. I think Nintendo seems to have cribbed off of these cartoons, because after a while they took away the vacuum cleaner sound from Yoshi and they gave him a baby voice, which is what he has in this cartoon.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's so aggravating to think about because I hate the baby voice Yoshi.
Alright, we are going to get into it today with the first 3 episodes. We're going to have a fire sale after this.
The thing I love most about my new pals is that all these lovely ice mirrors let me see myself everywhere I look. What I don't like about my ice palace is that it's freezing! I'm so cold I have ice on my feet. I'm green and blue, and I hate that. I hate being cold. I think it's cold. I think it stinks. I think that you better do something about it before I lose my temper! I want to be warm! I want heat! I want fire! I want it! I want it! I want it!
So first up is Fire Sale. First episode of the series. Okay, Cutie Pie kidnaps Mama Fire Plant to heat up her ice palace. And there's no King Koopa in this entire episode.
So the best part of the cartoon is already missing. We're off to a roaring start.
And ladies and gentlemen, I mean, most of you who listen to my podcasts know that I tend to be a lazy fuck sometimes. And I think for the next 5 episodes, I think my lazy fuck gene is going to take over. I am not splitting these clips up. We're just going to talk about the entire... No. So, the plot, what little plot there is. First of all, if she doesn't like to be cold, why is she living in an ice palace?
I don't know. I asked that myself. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm asking a stupid question about a stupid cartoon. I need to be shot.
And I feel this cartoon is a whole PSA on how ice and water works. Like, seriously. Between her not realizing that she's in an ice palace, and if you bring in heat, it's going to melt and you're going to be flooded. And they make her out to be the big bad villain on top of everything. She's not. Because they even give her a somewhat unique... I don't care if the show just calls them troopers. They are Koopa troopers. Mm-hmm. They give her own little unique slave Koopa trooper there. He's hilarious. I watch a show. Make a show about him. I'd watch that all damn day long. So her plan is to kidnap Mama Fire Plant. And because at this same time, the Princess, Yoshi, Mario, and Luigi are having some barbecue. Yay, barbecue. I'm not making fun of barbecue, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just making fun of the writing of this plot because holy hell. Um, and because Yoshi is an eating machine. Now, okay, we're 42 episodes into this podcast. Everyone knows my problem with Mario being the eater of the show, surprisingly. I have absolutely no problem with them showing that Yoshi is the eater of the show, because that's what he does in the game. He eats almost everything. The only thing he cannot eat is fire, yet he eats fire in this show. Oh my god.
There's a lot of things in the game he can't eat, but...
Well, I mean... he eats most of the stuff. Yeah. Like, obviously, he can't eat a charge and chuck. He can't eat. What else? He can't eat the underwater thwomp looking.
Yeah, I forget all the things he can't eat, but I know there's a lot of things.
Oh yeah, but there's also pretty much anything else he can pretty much eat. Yeah, fire is not something Yoshi can eat in the game. Trust me. I mean, he can eat a Koopa shell and he can spit fire, but he can't eat fire. Let's see what else. This then turns into a thing where Yoshi has to go to Mama Fire Plant because he ate all the goodies and has to get more fire for the barbecue. More fireballs for the barbecue. First of all, how are they able... Like, I know Mario and Luigi are super, but Jesus Christ, how are they all able to touch fireballs? This is the worst cartoon to show to your children. Not because it's a bad cartoon, because it teaches them horrible, horrible lessons.
While also trying to be socially conscious, as we'll find out in later episodes.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Absolutely. So, Yoshi's like, yeah, but me no go to her's place because it's across the river and me scared of water. Oh my god. There's a version of you in the game, dude, that lives, a baby version of you in the game that lives underwater. It's called Star World 2. Come on now. Oh my god. So, Yoshi's scared of water, and he is walking up to the bridge. He sees, or he hears, that Mama Fire Plant is being kidnapped, and he's like, couldn't I just do this later? You know?
Right.
He's like, no, you know, I'm coming, and the whole time he's saying I'm coming, he then says, I hear, at the end of it when he enters, and it's like, really? That's your entrance theme? Seriously? Worst WWE superstar ever. He's like, oh god, Yoshi reminds me so much of, I can't remember the kids. They tried to do a gimmick a number of years ago with, oh god, what was his name? The one-legged kid. Oh god, always got beat up all the time. This happened. Yes. Oh my god. Yoshi. Oh god. So
he reminds me of Elmo.
No, Elmo is.
Elmo was always like, Elmo here.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you that. Yeah. I'll give you that. So that's basically the plot. They then have to go to the Ice Palace and obviously rescue Mama Fire Plant. I think for my good things that I did like about this, there's not many. There's two. I love it when the Koopa Troopa constantly gets forced out of his shell and just goes flying around the place. I love that. I thought that was awesome. And I gotta say, as far as the writing, at least for the dialogue, the back and forth between Mama Fire Plant and Cootie Pie was pretty damn good. They were trading insults pretty well.
I suppose.
Well, you know, for a kid's show. So, what is there anything you liked about this one or no?
I was just so flabbergasted. This is gonna be a running theme. I just sat here stone faced at this cartoon.
And you weren't even smoking anything.
No. Just glaring at the screen like, I can't believe this exists. Knives coming out of my eyes.
Dude, you've turned into Judge Doom. God. As far as I know, you probably have a long list. As far as bad moments, I already mentioned about the plot. You know, fire in an ice palace, and then I already mentioned Yoshi afraid of water. When I put this in and I turned it on, it was like I got transported back to when the show. It's like I had just watched this yesterday, and I have not. My buddy Jeremy Fine actually got this 2-disc set for me, so he could have it for the show. And thanks, Jeremy. And it's one of those things where it's.
Thanks for the coasters.
It's one of those things where I just don't. I don't feel like when I watched this episode, I didn't feel like any time had passed between the time I was 11 and now. That's how far back in time it took me, and I'm not even being nostalgia about it because there isn't a lot of things I liked about this episode, but just watching it again is like, holy crap! I feel like I'm 19. I feel like it's 1991. I'm 11 years old again, and I'm trying to sit here and take a picture of the title screen with an actual camera. Since we didn't have, high-tech computers back then. I don't know. All right, what didn't you like about this one?
Oh boy, I didn't even write anything down. I'm just gonna shoot from the hip here. There's so many weird things in this cartoon that's like sometimes they're so off the mark from the game. It's like, what was the thing with the what was it, like the urchins that were freezing them or whatever? I was like, where is that in the game? I've never seen that before. In fact, there isn't really even an ice world in the game. There are certain levels that are in ice, but there's no ice land. At first I thought, oh, they're going back to Super Mario 3, but no, it's like it's this other world that's in proximity with the dinosaur world. So it's like, okay, it's not the same place. And then it's like they fell through a pipe at one point and they landed on one of those platforms that's on a rail. And I'm like, okay, that's in the game, but why would you put that in the cartoon? It makes no sense. It's like, why is that a thing here? And
it didn't even do the right thing.
No, it didn't.
It didn't even do the right thing. It kind of did, but it didn't. They land on this platform that's on the rail, which is in they're in almost every level. The one that I can think of it's in the most is probably Cheese Bridge.
Yeah, it's one of those bridges. I always get the butter bridge and the cheese bridge and stuff.
It's one of them. But anyway, the thing when you get on one of these, okay, Forest of Illusion 1. There's a couple in there, I think, or one of the Forest of Illusions thing. Anyway, you get on it. You have to stay on it. When it comes up, it either goes down and falls off, and you have to jump before you fall to your doom, or it curves up, and it's a curve where it goes up. You have to jump off because it's going to fall down. This thing was like a hard stop, bounce, and go.
Right. It's like
because it was an L-shaped, like a backwards L-shaped moment and it hit. It was like hitting the end of when you run out of track on a train set. It hit. It launched them in the air again. This is not how it works in the game.
No.
Not at all.
And with all these cartoons, I just sit here and I try to imagine what it's like to be the person who watches this cartoon without ever seeing the game, and just how completely nonsensical this is. There must be people who are like, why is that happening? What is that thing? Why are they punching blocks all the time? Why are the things just floating in the air? Why is this stupid dinosaur eating everything? It's like there's certain little game mechanics that are just put in the show for reasons that, okay, it's there to advertise the game, but as a story plot device, it doesn't make any sense. So like I said, this is going to be a running theme for pretty much every single episode of this. Like, spoiler, I don't think I can even recommend this series as a whole. I almost feel like there's no point in going with each individual episode, but I know we have to.
Well, I did cut it down. It was 6 episodes.
Yeah.
I cut it down to 5. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you want to talk about game mechanics. We'll be talking about the game mechanics when we get to the final episode of this podcast today.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that for each episode of this show, I'm just gonna be like, sucks. Sucks.
Come on now, you got to try a little bit harder than that.
Like, oh, this is not going to be good, folks.
Let's move on as we find out what the wheel thing is. Worst episode title ever.
Ooh, look at that, Luigi. Those cave people work too hard. There must be something we could do to make their life easier.
Yeah, like what?
I can't think of anything. I'm spinning my wheel. Ah, I've got it.
All right, the wheel thing. Oh my god, it's like they're not even trying. Mario reinvents cars for the cave people, but it really only leads to traffic jams and a surprise attack by Cookie and King Koopa. Dun dun dun. What the hell is going on with this production? Oh my god. I know we've talked about this before where they just kind of like, here, you go write this. Here, you go write this. Here, you have this episode. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. This... like, Mario couldn't have foreseen them. These cave people are pretty... I mean, they're your standard average, I don't want to say Hollywood, but film industry type of, cavemen portrayal, even though they're just, like, more close to, like, cave kids than anything else. But, what possessed Mario to even try to do this? I understand his heart was in the right place, sort of. He wants to, help them advance, and he was kind of looking out for him, but it just doesn't... this doesn't work, because it backfires so horribly.
I think the reason he does it is just because he's bored. There's nothing going on in this world. It's just like, I gotta do something. I'll teach these people about wheels.
I mean, he could have had, an obstacle course in the Forest of Illusion, because I refuse to call it the Enchanted Forest.
Yeah.
This is the cartoon that I refuse to call I don't mind calling the Koopa Kids by their TV names, because I kind of like their TV names a little better. But anyway, the levels, I refuse to call the Vanilla Dome the lava pits. That's just stupid. And I honestly think if I was making this cartoon today, you could so use all of these levels, almost all of them, because they're food-based. Donut plains, you could have a bunch of friggin' donuts in the backgrounds or whatever, Vanilla Dome, it could be, it could still be dark and is, what it is in the game, except, you throw a Lake Vanilla in there somewhere or something. I don't know. Forest of Illusion, that's where you put the ghosts. Chocolate Island, I mean, how hard is that? I mean, anybody can make a chocolate island. But anyway, this one is just we're 2 episodes in, and I I don't know. I do love talking about the one good thing I liked about this one. I love how ironic Mario is. He's like, "What are they gonna do? Banish us? They banished us." It's like, oh my god! Like you did not see that already coming, dude. Um, what are your thoughts on this one? Either the plot overall, even though there isn't one, and good moments, if any.
It's again, I don't know what to say because it's just like a stream of nonsense. I mean, it was kind of funny that the Koopas made this huge wheeled dinosaur thing for no apparent reason. It's like let's go wreck shit up because Mario gave us an idea to use wheels. It's like, why didn't you do that before? You knew about wheels. You're from a completely different game.
Yeah, I mean, if Kooky is supposed to be this, genius, he wasn't too genius in this.
He invented a time machine, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. So did Elroy, and Elroy's smarter than Kooky.
I mean, we had 26 episodes where Kooky was like inventing all sorts of shit, and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh my god, a wheel! We could do something with a wheel."
Yeah. I will say before I talk about my bad things is I did find the cave people kind of funny when Mario first showed them the wheel. I think my favorite one is when they started using it for hats and then the bug zapper. I thought that was kind of awesome. I thought that was kind of funny. But bad moments. First of all, why the fuck is Kooky orange?
I don't know. That's
like he has the Mario 3 aesthetic. He has the same aesthetic as far as his hair and his look and his body design as he had in the previous cartoon, except he is like he stood under the he laid in the tanning bed way too damn long, and he just came out orange.
It makes him look weird.
Yeah, it makes him look really weird. Okay, since when does the fire actually come out of the fire flowers? What the hell?
Since people writing this did not play the game, apparently.
I will say, kind of going back to the good moments, I will say, once Mario did become Fire Mario, the colors were correct. It was red and white, so I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But the fire coming out of the fire flower, that's... no. And how the hell? Because right before the traffic jam happens, we get like 3.5 seconds of Mario sleeping on a wooden platform. I mean, even Prince Adam in He-Man and the Masters Universe found more comfortable places to put his hands behind his head. I don't know. What about you?
I don't know. This again. I don't know what to say. This is. I'm actually speechless, folks. I don't know what to say. It's just they're trying to use again. They're kind of going to the Flintstones where they're trying to use the dinosaur village. Caveman Village theme to make story ideas, but this is so nonsensical. It basically I'll give you this. I think there's kind of a message here about like introducing new technology, and I think like all the things that can go wrong because
they do.
Yeah, but it's kind of pessimistic. It's like look, you can introduce these new advances in technology, and people will just use them wrong. And I don't know. I don't know what else to really suss out of this. It's just so weird, and it's assembly line cartoon making at its worst, I think. Because there's no story here. It's just a complete nonsensical episode of Mario, where you could pick any episode of the Super Show and it'd be better than this.
Oh my God! I cannot believe you just said that. Wow. All right, let's get to the final episode as we send in the clowns.
Oh no.
May the floss be with you.
Not here, Cootie Pie! Use your head for something besides makeup! Those faucet fixers might see it! They got eyes everywhere! They got ears, too! So keep it quiet! We don't want them at our circus! We just want cave people, like Papa Koopa said! Then the more the better! And furthermore...
Come all to the Koopling Brothers Circus, the greatest show in dinosaur land. You don't know what a circus is? Then now's the time to find out. Cave people, free of charge. 2 for the price of none. Such a deal. Hurry, 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 right this way. This is easier than talking Cootie Pie into a shopping spree. Right this way, boys. You are about to enter this warp pipe and leap into a dimension beyond space and time. Right into a cave people casserole for my ravenous dinosaurs.
Finally up today is Send in the Clown. Oh boy. King Koopa, Big Mouth, and Cootie Pie host a circus to lure all of the cave people into their trap. Dun dun dun. First of all, I gotta say, if Big Mouth ever needed a job outside of being an evil Koopaling, he could be a ringmaster, because he never shuts up, and ringmasters are not supposed to shut up. So, I mean, you know, he kind of found a second calling in this episode. You're not buying that, are you?
No.
Oh, come on. So here's where we come into game mechanics, because first of all, when they face when they face Koopa later in the episode, he's in his thing from the game, his little flying machine whirly bird thingamabob that makes all kinds of weird faces.
Mm-hmm.
And the music that accompanies him in the game and the sound effects are all accurate to the game. So I will say they did get that right as far as what Koopa does in the game, you know, and putting it into the cartoon. So that's where the game mechanics come in for me. All as I can do is just shake... This is the one that I have nothing, because it's like they did an episode about a circus. Really? Seriously? And the trap is... they're going to turn these people into dinosaurs, or turn them into something. Didn't they already try this in Super 3 with, turning the humans into Koopas? Yeah. Yeah, it's a recycled plot from the last cartoon. Wow.
It feels like they were like, okay, at the end of the game, Bowser rides around in this clown car thing. How do we get to that? And it seemed like they tried to reverse engineer a plot from that, because they're like, well, the Whirlybird thing has a clown face on it, so let's have a circus episode for some reason. And that's the only bit of sense I can make out of this episode. It was a very strange setup to get to what was essentially the final boss fight in a game. And we're only 3 episodes in and they did that, which is kind of weird. But amazingly they got the boss fight mostly correct, because like everything that happens in that boss fight happens here. Like it'll drop the big, bowling ball thing, and it'll hop on the ground and try to crush Mario, and all that happened in the episode, but it was sort of animated weirdly, and to beat Bowser, Mario has to throw the Mecha Koopa up into the into the clown car, which is what also happens in the episode. So they, in a weird way, they got the game right, but it again, like going back to the person who has never played this game before and is watching this cartoon, that person has got to be like, why is any of this happening this way? Because as like a cartoon, it doesn't make any sense. It's just like this weird stream of events that you wouldn't write a story this way. It's specifically done to be the game.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's my thoughts on it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. As as far as this cartoon goes, as a supplement to the game, it's so bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing about this cartoon that would make me want to watch it after playing the game.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break here to hear some ads and some Mario music, and then we'll come back with ratings and close the show after this. I'm almost gonna go ahead and guess triple zeros.
Triple zeros.
For me, I will give Fire Sale 1 out of 5. I guess we can use Yoshi's. I will give Fire Sale 1 out of 5 Yoshi's because I did kind of like seeing, the back and forth between Mama Fire Plant and Cootie Pie. And I did love seeing, the whole thing with the trooper coming out of his shell. But the wheel thing, Yeah, that. I mean, the only thing that probably would save it from a 0 is the irony of what are they gonna do? Banish us? They banished us. It's like that's really the only thing that saves it from a 0. So that gets 1 out of 5. But send in the clown, that gets a 0 for me. Oh my god, so bad. So I think we are going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you for joining us here on Pixels in the Animation. There are so ways to get in contact with us or leave feedback for the show. Visit the website geekcastradio.com where you can comment on this and all the other episode posts. Email us feedback at geekcastradio.com. Leave the show's feedback in iTunes. Please do this. Follow us on Twitter at geekcastradio. Mine is TF2 and Mike. What is your Twitter?
Neil Sama.
Become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Geekcast Radio Network. You can also check out DC and Comic over there and Neil's Classic Gaming. You gotta put some Mario stuff up there.
I will. It's just that
some Super Mario stuff up there. Call the voicemail line 502-526-5821. We hope you enjoyed the latest episode of Pixels in Animation. Wish you'll join us next time. We'll be reviewing the next 6 episodes from Super Mario World, those being Ghosts Are Us, King Scoopa Koopa, The Night Before Cave Christmas, Born to Ride, Party Line, and Gopher Bash. Oh my god, we're gonna die now, ladies and gentlemen. For now, I am TF2 and Mike with
TV's Mr. Neil.
Tune in next time and help us find the pixels in the animation.